Right. And so let's move on to my conspiracy theory about the real reason why. One second, let me check my notes real quick, you guys. Okay, let me check okay. So, one second. Let me see. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to share with you guys my theory on the real reason why I think that Tom Sandoval wanted Tom Schwartz and Raquel to have some type of romantic thing, some type of romantic fling. Now, we all have the theory that it was because he wanted to deflect, right? I think that's one aspect of it, yes. He wanted to deflect. He wanted people to be a red herring. Look at Tom Schwartz and Raquel. Don't actually look at me and Raquel, right? We've all had that theory. But I have an even sicker theory. I was listening to Lala's podcast, Give Them Lala, and they weren't even talking about it, but for some reason, when they were talking about like the scene, what came to me was this, and rock with me on this, let me know what you think. Yes, I think that Tom Sandoval wanted to deflect, but what I think he wanted to do the most in order to wait, let me say this first before I get to it. Okay. Let's also not forget what his long-term game was, right? What his end goal was. So if Sandoval had not come out, we know that he would have broken up, allegedly, with Ariana after the reunion. Get through the show, get through the reunion, and then all of a sudden, while they're not filming, get with Raquel, who now has looked like this, she would have been like the princess of the season. Everybody was against Raquel, and now she's coming to her own. That was the narrative that everybody was going with, right? All the other girls are mean, and Raquel's like finally coming into her own, blah, 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 blah. Tom would have done his smear campaign against Ariana. She's so mean. She doesn't have sex. She doesn't want to have kids, blah, 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 blah. She's so irritated by me. This smear campaign he's been doing about her this entire season. So I think in his mind, he was going to break up with her after the reunion. Then magically, him and Raquel were going to fall into this magical relationship where Tom, the victim, the forlorn boyfriend of horrible Ariana, who was so mean to him, now he's finally found love with Raquel, who was strong enough to break up with evil, mean James and, get away from the mean girls, and that they would come back to the show as this couple, right? That was the plan, right? But the only way to make that plan work would be if it was normalized for the level of commitment that Tom Sandoval and Ariana to have had for him to then go date one of her best friends. Now, I know on the show this happens all the time. They've all cheated. They've all swapped people. Jackson, Kristen, Stassi, blah, 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 blah. Totally different level, totally different stuff. They were in their 20s. They weren't that serious. They were broke. They're like, we're not comparing it to that stuff. At this point, all these people are basically 40, 35 plus, except for this chick, 35 to 42. They've all got mortgages and homes. They've all been together for years. We have marriages and divorces. It's a totally different ball game. I think Tom Sandoval, and this is how how maniacal he is. It wasn't just to deflect; it was to normalize it. And I'll tell you why. Every other scene this entire season has been what? Katie, you can't tell Schwartz who he can and cannot date. Katie, you're being, controlling. She's horrible. Oh, you know what? If me and Ariana broke up, I wouldn't care who she could hook up with Schwartz. I wouldn't care. Schwartz like, yeah, I don't care. You and Katie and Tom could hook up. Blah 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 blah. It shouldn't matter. Da 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 da. They were. I think Tom Sandoval was trying to normalize how disgusting and betrayal and dysfunctional and horrible it would be to turn around and be with Raquel after having been with Ariana for 9 years. He then gets to say, oh, well, Raquel was with my best friend, Tom Schwartz. Tom doesn't care. I don't care. Why do you guys care? And if you think about it, it actually kind of was working. Sheena Shea was on board with it. So then, Tom Sandoval, he likes to throw something in people's faces. They like to throw on the word hypocrite. Then next season, well, Sheena, how can you be mad at Raquel for dating Sandoval? After he was dating Ariana, you weren't mad at Raquel for dating Schwartz after he divorced Katie. They were actually married. You were all for it. So why are you mad at us now? Last season, you had no problem. I think he was trying to normalize it so that when he came back to the show and they were going to be in a relationship, nobody could say jack because everybody was supporting them when it was Raquel and Schwartz. Obviously, except for Katie and Lala, but he's always hated Katie and Lala. He's always gone against them. And he always says, oh, they're just mean and bitter and jealous and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Do you see what I'm saying? He was trying to normalize it. I don't want to say grooming because I think grooming is something different, but he was trying to normalize it. And he also was successfully doing it with Ariana herself. Because I'm going to play the clip in a second, but Ariana herself, she hasn't really stepped to Raquel in any meaningful way for getting with Schwartz, who is her really good friend Katie and business partner's ex-husband. In fact, these words are going to come back and bite her in her butt, but wasn't she in this last episode sticking it to Katie when she goes, and we'll watch it, when she goes, wait, will we watch it? Do I have the video? Sorry, you guys, let me make sure I have this video first. I do. Okay, good. So when she goes, well, I know you have a problem with Raquel. You guys remember when she said that? I know you have a problem with Raquel. Basically being like, I know you're being really petty because Raquel's hooking up with your ex-husband. But I trust Raquel. I trust my boyfriend. I know you have a problem with her. So that would come back and bite Ariana in her butt all the way around. Because how are you going to sit there? And I mean, I'm saying if we did not know that they were cheating. I want to make that clear. It's not like we know they're cheating. I'm saying if their plan worked, where they actually were able to keep the cheating a secret. This is what I think that he was trying to do. Because think about it. Say next season they come back and we didn't know about the cheating. And all of a sudden Sandoval and Raquel are an item. What leg would Ariana really have to stand on? Because we all know Bravo's favorite word other than black eye is hypocrisy. So you were cool with it when she was dipping it and doing it with Schwartz. But now that she's dipping it and doing it with your man, now you have a problem? Do you see what I'm saying? And herself, I know you have a problem, Katie. Well, girl, guess who had the bigger problem? Guess who had the bigger problem? I think that was actually the end game goal of why he was pushing it so much. To normalize it, to get everybody on board with it, and then it literally does create hypocrites out of them. Then what leg do they have on to stand? You didn't have a problem when it happened to Katie. Now you have a problem when it happens to Ariana. See what I'm saying? Diabolical. Brilliant. Evil genius. Evil genius. But that's what I think he was trying to do. Because if you go back and watch the season, every chance he gets, Katie can't tell you who you can and cannot date. People can hook up with whoever they want. If me and Ariana broke up, I wouldn't care who she would date. She could date Schwartz. I don't care. You blah, 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 blah. Over and over and over again. He wanted to hammer that narrative in. He wanted to get people on board. And then he wanted to also be in the place of saying, well, she was with my best friend Schwartz and he doesn't care and I don't care. So why should you guys care? Let's watch the clip. Watch Ariana, not low key, high key, check Katie for being in her feelings about Raquel and Tom Schwartz defending her quote man and her quote best friend Raquel. Let's watch. Okay. Whoop.
On Vanderpump Rules.
There's something about her.
I like it.
Lovely to see you all.
Oh my God.
This is our Greek salad sandwich. Yeah, it's one of our favorites.
Wow.
I want to go somewhere really cool with Ariana.
Have you guys been okay?
I feel like sometimes, like, my very presence annoys her. I just want us to be better. You know, I want us to be more intimate.
I cannot have sex with somebody who feels like a stranger.
I feel like in a relationship, you should want to, like, have sex.
You come home after working all night and you're like, what, you think you're just gonna like whip your dick out? And I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's that's never gonna happen. Like, we have to spend time together.
You filed for divorce. If Schwartz and I made out or not, it's like none of your business.
Are you hearing this? Yeah.
Maybe I feel more empathetic Schwartz than you.
I'm so done with you.
What is that?
This is done. This is done.
She wanted to apologize.
I don't give a I don't need an apology from her. Okay. That was the clip that I wanted to show, but the part that I wanted wasn't in there. But the part that was actually really important at the end, which solidifies my conspiracy theory, is, did you hear Raquel, who's clearly just regurgitating whatever Tom Sandoval told her, did you hear at the end when she says, you filed for divorce, Katie, against with him, so you shouldn't care who makes out with him, or you shouldn't care if I kiss him or not. I'm more empathetic for Tom Schwartz than I am to you. That's exactly the narrative. That's exactly the plot, the ploy that I think Tom Sandoval was trying to solidify this season. Let's make Ariana the bad guy, the way Katie is the bad guy. I'm talking about how he puts things, that what I think, right? We love Katie, we love Ariana. The bad guy, they break up, then they don't have the right to say who we can and cannot date, even if it is their best friend, then you shouldn't care. That, what she said at the very end of that clip, encapsulates my entire theory on what I think Tom Sandoval was actually trying to do. I think he used Tom Schwartz as a patsy. I think Schwartz knew that they were hooking up, obviously. I think Tom Schwartz knew that he was, used to deflect, because even Tom was just like, hold up, listen. He's like, it's not about me anymore. But that's what I think. Another thing, you guys, and put it down below what you guys think, is I think Bravo is watching. I think they're listening. Now, do you guys remember a couple of days ago when I was talking about the continuity, when they were doing the inserts and everything? And I said, how come everybody just jumped to, oh, Raquel slept over, is it Raquel and Sandoval? And I was like, we're not really there yet. We're not really there with Tom and Sandoval. We're still kind of stuck in Schwartz and Raquel, which is true because, and I have the right clip for this one. That one was good too, but for a couple of reasons. Number one, in this episode, yes, everybody else is kind of still talking about, Tom Sandoval and Raquel, I think with the insert shots, but the scenes that they shot clearly actually during filming, the narrative is still Schwartz and Raquel. That's why when they were at the glamping party for her birthday or whatever, she was like, oh, Schwartz, do you want to get me a kiss? Like for my birthday. And then remember when Christina Kelly sent Sheena the invitation? Then Schwartz was like, well, maybe I can bring you as my date. Like, that's the thing. It's like how in this episode we just watched, the narrative is still around the flirtation with Schwartz and Raquel. Yes, behind the scenes. Yes, behind a little bit of the stuff they're talking about that, but that's still the through line of it. But this is why I think Bravo is listening, okay? I don't remember this particular end of this scene being played out before. I could be wrong. Maybe I just missed it. But remember when I said, how come they just keep going straight to Tom and them and not to Tom Schwartz? Watch this clip and they do exactly what I said logically they should have done. I saw it in this night's episode, but I don't think it was in the other leaked clips. But let's watch.
So did she spend the night at your house?
I mean, look, like,
No, did she or not? Yes or no?
yes. But, like, dude, like,
I'm not dude.
Dude, I have people crash at my house.
I am not dude.
All right, Lisa, I have people crash at my house.
She's not people, Sandoval. Your wife's away and she's a beautiful single girl.
I'm just over this, like, whole Schwartz and Raquel thing. And, like, I hope that's not a thing.
No, it's not. Schwartz and Raquel thing is so last week. Now it's a Schwartz, Sandoval and Raquel thing.
Aw, dude, come on, man.
Did you guys catch it? So now at the very end of the clip, they said exactly what I said about continuity, how it didn't make sense. Now, all of a sudden, Tom Sandoval is saying, oh, well, I'm really tired of the Tom Schwartz and Raquel thing, which is what we really had been talking about. I know there was the whole Abby situation, but like that wasn't really that big of a thing to jump to this situation. And then you have Lisa Vanderpump bridging the gap. Oh, that was so last week, darling. Now it's about Schwartz, Sandoval, and Raquel. So it's bringing what I said about continuity. It's bringing, wait a minute, the actual story we were talking about was Schwartz and Raquel. But now we're trying to jump up to where we are now. Now it's all about Raquel and Sandoval. And just like Tom Sandoval said in that clip, that was the exact thought I had. Wait a minute, aren't we talking about Tom and Schwartz? But then Lisa Vanderpump's line cleans it up. Vindication. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Oh my God, you guys. It's hot out here. It's hot out here for a gangster. All right, now let's move on to our next Vanderpump Rules story. Let's see what we want to talk about. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go to Kristen Doty doing the absolute most on Watch What Happens Live. Okay, let's go there. Here we go. All right, let's go there. So Kristen Doty, as you guys know, was just on Watch What Happens Live. I personally thought she did a little bit too much. Like, I thought she was doing a little bit too much. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. And then I'll dive into what she said about Tom Sandoval. I personally thought she crossed a couple of lines. Like,